Okay, let's
Yes.
go.
Hey, welcome. How's it going?
Doing okay today.
Good. Well, my name is Steve. I'm one of the counselors here, and I see in the notes here that you called because you had some concerns going on. So, what is it that you wanted to come and talk about?
Well, I grew up in an abusive family,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I never really told anyone about that. The only person I could trust was my sister and my mom. Um, but it wasn't just my parents and us. We had my uncles living with us as well, and then I also went through some sexual abuse from him too when I was younger.
From your uncle?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And I never told anyone about that. Um, I think the real reason I came in is because I have a 2-year-old daughter and I'm married. Um, I'm kind of at a place where I think I should tell my husband
Mm-hmm.
because it is a part of what's me, a part of my life, and I really worry about when our child grows up and if she ever has any issues. I want her to be able to come to me and talk to me and just trust me because
Okay.
I didn't have that with my family.
So you feel like you're at a point where you need to tell your story to build that trust in your family.
Yeah, and I'm kind of just wondering, like, do I need to?
Is there any reason to believe they don't trust you because you're holding that right now?
It's not necessarily that because I have a good relationship with my husband. It's just I haven't been fully honest. That's what I feel like because he doesn't know everything about me. I don't think he can fully understand why I am the way that I am.
So you feel like by not telling him that you're potentially lying to him about who you really are,
Yeah,
and you feel like this is hindering how far you can take this relationship.
and just forming our family unit, really the values that we have and what our expectations are.
What does that family unit look like right now?
I think it's really good. He works full time. I'm looking for work. I finished school, but I was taking care of the family, and before then, I was with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I helped with the family business. I never really got to utilize what I went to school for.
What'd you go to school
I went for interior design and
for? Okay.
art.
Oh, wonderful.
Um, but it's good. It's just I hope I'd be able to work because that was also something. My mother, she just took care of the family. My dad would just abuse her, and so she never really had a way out because she really depended on me.
So for you, is getting a job giving you an extra avenue out?
Uh, I think I'm just afraid. I want to be more independent. I kind of want to just not. I don't want to be like my family of origin
Mm-hmm.
at all. And I don't think that we have that. I just worry. I want to be able to be a good mother, to help support my family, and to feel that my child, maybe future children, can trust me if there's anything. Just because from the family that I came from, I didn't really have anyone to go to.
Yeah. So gaining independence in a relationship is a very healthy thing if you're doing it for the right reasons. I'm just curious about why you feel like you need to gain a little independence.
So I grew up feeling, I kind of started feeling that I deserved it. I didn't have control over anything until take my first step with leaving that family and finding a way out. And then I was lucky enough to find my husband, and then we had our child. And I think just being independent might make me feel that I'm worth more. That I didn't have to.
So for you, independence is a self-esteem issue.
Yeah, I think you could say that.
Okay. But everything else back at home is fine and safe. You're okay there. No need to fear your husband, or no need to think that what happened in your past is going to start repeating itself in the future or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
I don't feel that
Good, that's
he's
terrific.
abusive. He's not at all like my father.
All right. Well, great. So how do you feel he is going to receive your story when you're ready to tell it?
I'm not sure if he'd be able to accept it
What makes you think he won't be able to accept it?
because I've never really told anyone the details before, and then I would imagine that people don't believe me, and since he's my husband, he may believe me, and if he does, would he be disgusted with me? Would he blame me for the things that I had to go through, and I felt like I didn't have a choice but to do?
Do you feel like you blame yourself for any of those things?
Right now, I think as I've gotten older, I've grown to learn that, it was those older people in my family that were just taking advantage of the expectations in my family, the roles of respecting your elders and listening to what you're told to say and do.
And you're absolutely right. Anything that happened to you in the past when you're young is definitely not your fault. So don't ever think that. But what we need to figure out is the real reason behind why you're ready to tell is because are you looking to just build the trust a little bit further in your relationship now?
I think I just want to get to a place where I can be comfortable with what has happened to me in the past, and I can just move forward without looking back.
Okay.
I really just want to forget, but I feel like I need to go through it all and then I can let
Okay,
it
so
go.
for you, telling your story to someone is therapeutic to get you past what happened to you back then. Not necessarily your husband. It could be anyone, right?
Yeah, I think starting here would really help. Maybe brainstorming what can happen, um, and just
All right, so tell me this: what is the absolute worst thing that you and your husband have gone through together?
the absolute worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was just going through the marriage. I don't think his family approves of me, because we come from different types of families, and I think people looking into mine can tell that we have some issues. Um, but at the end, it was more of his family, not necessarily him. He's always stood up for me.
Mm-hmm. So as a couple, though, is there any single event you can narrow down to be the absolute worst thing you guys have gone through? Uh, Complications with the pregnancy, car accident, house catch on fire, or anything like that? Nothing, everything.
Luckily, no. It's just maybe finances
Okay, finances.
with a baby and just trying to keep that. Since I'm not working and I haven't been working,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay,
so it
so
can be a strain.
definitely finances are always a strain on relationships. So when you were at your lowest back then, and at the worst of the worst, and financially struggling to the bottom that it could possibly be, and you and your husband talked about it, how did he react then?
He would just get really upset, but then he would just ask that I don't bother him for a while, and then we would just talk about it later. Because he's really the one who encourages me. He's like, I know you went to school, you weren't able to go and fully find a job right away, but we can work towards it. We're focusing on taking care of our child and then having his parents take care of her if I have to go to do interviews or anything. But for the most part, he's been supportive. I think it's just frustration with things that we can't control.
Okay.
But then he also reminds me as well because I feel that I'm the one who gets more emotional.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never been. I always felt like he was supportive. We might yell at each other once in a while, um, but in the end, he's very supportive.
Supportive is a very good word. So, is there any doubt that you have that during that the worst time that you had when he was very supportive, to this point where you're just willing to share your story with him about your past, that he would not be supportive?
It's just that his background is so different. I don't know if he'll understand. Um, Maybe he won't be able to wrap his head around something like that happening to someone. And then the fact that he's married to someone like that, I'm not sure how he'll take it. I guess he's been supportive, but that's not a guarantee that he'll be the same way when I tell him if I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just afraid that he'll just get really upset and say I lied to him because I didn't tell him everything. Then he'll want to break up the family, um, and then he'll have to decide who's going to take care of our child. And if I'm not working, I feel that I don't have anywhere to go because I don't really
Okay.
talk to my family.
All right. So what we've figured out now is that telling your story is therapeutic to you because it's going to help get you past some of the roadblocks you have and let you move on with your life. But telling your story to your husband might not necessarily be the best thing, and that's what you're working with right now.
Yes, just
Okay.
trying to figure that out.
So what are the cons for telling your husband?
The cons for telling him, he can get really upset.
Okay.
Um, he might just call me bad names. Maybe he'll think I'm just dirty, like a whore or a slut. Or even because that happened to me when I was a kid, but it was for a few years. Um, I just maybe these are just feelings I have about myself,
Okay.
but I've never told anyone because
So with the name calling, like the words that you use, like whore and slut, is that how you feel that he might say to you? Does it seem like he would say something like that to you? Or is that just how you feel about it because it's your story right now?
maybe it could be a mix of both.
Okay.
Because he's always been so good to me, and I'm not used to knowing someone that's usually like positive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just I'm just afraid that things won't always be good.
All right. So what are the pros for telling your husband the story?
Then I won't have any more secrets
Okay.
that I'm
No more
hiding from him.
secrets.
He'll know he'll know about me and my past everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can feel that he really accepts me for who I am.
Acceptance. Okay. Now for this name calling on the con list, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely do you think it is he'll actually call you names like that?
Maybe a 5.
5, so 50-50 chance that names might get thrown around. Okay. Now is that 50-50 chance stronger or weaker than the relief that you would have by knowing that you don't have any more secrets?
I think that's weaker than yours
It's weaker?
because I've had
So,
that for years.
alright, so having no more secrets is more important to you than that 50-50 risk of being called names. Okay, so we're getting somewhere here. Alright, so what I would like to do then, if it's okay with you, is over the course of the next several sessions, depending on how fast you want to go, we can work on your narrative, we can work on your story to where you're getting to where you can tell it comfortably here. And at that point, if you're ready to have your husband come in, we can have him sit down and the three of us can tell your story at a safe place. And with that, there's a chance, I can't guarantee anything, but there's a chance that with a third person in the room while you tell your story, this 50-50 might change a little bit for the positive.
Yeah.
How does that work for you?
I think I like how that sounds.
Okay.
And maybe checking in as we're working together to see how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
If I even think you may need to know or
Yeah. It could change week to week. Next week, if you feel like, that's it, I'm just not going to tell them at all, well, that's fine. You can still have a safe place in here you can tell your story to. You get it off your chest and you can move on with your life and you'll never have to know. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming in, and I'll book an appointment with you for next week at this time. All right.